He's here with his latest book. Curt Mercadante is here with us. How are you, sir?
Great, thanks for having me here.
This portion here that I read, disruptive entrepreneur.
Yes.
What is that?
Well, I try to help people build businesses in a way that allows them to maintain their freedom and fulfillment. There's a lot of folks out there on social media, wherever, they're gurus, and I like to call them hustle and grind pornographers because they tell you, the key to success is sleep when you're dead. And a lot of people look at that and they fit 2 hours of work into a 14-hour day.
Oh, man.
After 4 or 5, and I was one of these people, after 4 or 5 years, you feel like, listen, I started my own business to have freedom, and now I felt like I built more of a prison than a business.
I see.
And so there's a lot of folks who do that. And there's a lot of people see freedom lifestyle, and they think entrepreneurship. But that doesn't have to be the case, and sometimes entrepreneurship is anything but freedom.
Yeah. Why did you write this book?
I wrote this book to help people avoid what I went through. I had a public relations ad agency. I've founded 3 successful companies. I had a PR and ad agency, was making great money. About 4 or 5 years into it, I was miserable. I wanted to give it up. Even though I worked from home, I didn't see my wife, didn't see my kids. At the time, we have 4 kids now. At the time, we had 2 kids. I would go up to my home office. I would disappear, I'd come down for dinner. Right after dinner, I'd go up, disappear again, come out early in the morning, wake up, do it all over again. And I had built, making a lot of money. And the next year, I fired half my clients, raised my prices, cut my workday in half, and doubled my revenue. And so I got that freedom.
You just gave a lot of people a lot of incentive right there, I'll tell you what. Yeah. Who did you write this book for, by the way?
I wrote it for people who wake up every morning and they feel that they're not doing what they were put on this earth to do. Maybe their mental, physical health is not excellent. Their relationships aren't excellent. They don't have a job that fulfills them. And everyone deserves. There's 2 types of people in the world. There's folks who have an abundance mindset and people who have a scarcity mindset. An abundance mindset looks at life and says, I'm an autonomous human being. I can actually design my life. A scarcity mindset, which there's a lot of what I call scarcity pimps out there who would have you believe that gratitude means guilt and stagnation. Well, you should just be happy for what you have. Real gratitude pairs a sense of forward-looking purpose. So I always urge people, when you wake up in the morning, the first 2 things you should ask yourself are, what's awesome about today? That's gratitude. The second question is, what could make today even more awesome? And that's spinning, there's all things we like to do, or that we don't like to do in a day. I have that conference call that sucks. I got to meet with that person I don't like, or whatever it is. You spin it and say, what could make today even more awesome? And it looks at the day that, rather than looking at everything that's wrong with our day, you say, all right, there's some things we can improve, but you know what? I'm alive today. I'm going to get to spend time with people I love. That helps you cultivate that abundance mindset to realize that you don't have to be confined to a lifestyle by default.
Yeah, so you wake up, one of the best things about waking up is that you can say, I'm awake. I may have this little pain here or there, whatever, but I'm awake, I can go on about the day. And some people that I run into that may not be happy, what way can I do to help make them happy?
Absolutely, right. Helping others and especially those relationships. Harvard has a study, I read about it in the book, it's the longest running study of human fulfillment. And they've been doing it over 80 years. They started studying these folks at Harvard when they were undergrads. And when they said, what do you think the key to fulfillment is? The undergrads, of course, said money, status, awards, all this stuff. 80 years later, not even close. Relationships are number 1. And a number of them learned it the hard way. They're still studying these folks 80 plus years later. So a certain amount have passed on, but relationships are by and large not even close. The number 1 important.
We've got about 30 seconds left. Tell us about this book. This is the, what are the 5 pillars of freedom lifestyle?
Sure. So the 5 pillars real quickly are superpowers. We all have talents. You invest in those talents. You turn them into strengths. You amplify those into superpowers every day rather than focusing on your weaknesses. Number 2 is vision. Having a clear life vision that pairs your purpose with impact. Alignment, forgetting work-life balance, but aligning your life. Outcomes, being radically outcomes focused where you reverse engineer that vision. And number 5 is flow. It's that cumulative effect of the first 4 where you get in that state of flow every day.
How can people get a hold of this book? It's fascinating.
If you go to 5pillarsoffreedom.com, you can grab the first chapter absolutely free, and it's available on Amazon starting tomorrow.
Appreciate you being here.
Thanks a lot, Tom.
Moving from the Windy City on Johns Island now.
Yes, a little bit of paradise, or a lot of paradise. Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. We're back in just a moment. Stay with us.